E.D.E.N is a social enterprise based in Sheffield. We work with the LGBT community here in Sheffield and South Yorkshire, training people in filmmaking skills and creating films together with the LGBT community that raise awareness for different issues. Our aim is to educate people about equality and diversity, and we do that through the medium of film, which we find is very powerful and it can reach a lot of people.
These films have included documentaries, short films, campaign type approach, and just a wide range of material and skills have gone into producing these films.
I first got involved in E.D.E.N when they made Families Like Ours a couple of years ago. That was my first involvement with them. I thought Families Like Ours was a very professional production, and I was amazed just at the reaction it got from members of the public. Everyone that I've seen it, I've shown it to and been to see it with, have said what an amazing piece of work it was, and it's really influenced the way that they think about the LGBT community. So overwhelmingly positive.
I got involved with E.D.E.N for the first sort of public project. I think it's really important because we get to, people in the LGBT community like us get to have our voices heard, but we also get to learn how to make films.
I first got involved with E.D.E.N with the E.D.E.N Action Project. With the E.D.E.N Action Project, I was involved with the biphobia film. I did a very shaky voiceover for that, and we did some filming for the Do We Need a Gay Scene in Sheffield debate. I was involved in a fair bit of the editing, and recently I was involved in Trashing Transphobia.
Involved with E.D.E.N films when they started with Trashing Transphobia project. I found it really interesting and sometimes challenging because we had to work out how to portray and deal with the issue of transphobia from the perspective of trans people.
Trashing Transphobia involved training 15 members of the LGBT community in filmmaking skills, including camera operating, sound operation and editing, and they were also involved with the structure and the narrative and the interview questions that were asked.
What we discovered was that this 1 hour film didn't even begin to cover all the different experiences and stories that are out there. So what we decided was that we need a film festival. We need a platform where people from around the world can submit their own films, and so that we can hear from trans people, gender non-binary people, queer people who can tell their stories, because ultimately there are so many different experiences out there that we aren't seeing in the mainstream media.
Not only will it raise awareness of trans issues, but it will allow the trans community in Sheffield, South Yorkshire and in the UK to contribute to making films that, and by making films we'll be able to tell our stories, we'll be able to and ultimately this will help us feel good. It will make us feel it will make us as a community more united and more positive.
I don't believe there's enough information out there, correct information about people that are transgender. I find the information I do find, usually in the media, on TV, is it doesn't seem to relate to my personal story.
I think if there'd have been something like a Transforming Cinema event when I was a young person, it would have totally changed my life. I didn't have the vocabulary to deal with what I was feeling. I didn't even know there was a name for what I was feeling.
Transforming Cinema, the whole project is important. It gives the opportunity for transgender people to put their story, their ideas, their feelings through and put it in a medium which everybody understands. And it's a good way of collecting all this information and putting it in one place. So let's say someone is thinking about transitioning, coming up to that point in their life where they're not quite sure, they've got all these questions. It's somewhere they can come, have all the resources.
It would actually mean that for young trans people of my, when I was a young person, and it's a long time ago now, but I think if there'd been something like that, it would have meant a great deal. It would have meant that I wouldn't have gone through all these decades of pretending to be someone that I wasn't, and all the suffering that went along with that. That has greatly affected me. And that it pains me that now I've lost, a lot of my life trying to live a lie, and unsuccessfully. And if it means that the younger generation that are coming through actually realise we don't have to live a lie, we can go out there, we can be ourselves, we can live as our true selves, then that's going to be a real boon.
At the moment, people in the trans community are bombarded by negative images and stories in the media. Being able to tell our own story from our own perspective will make us feel as though we were able to be who we are and be listened to.
Transforming Cinema is an important project, so please vote for it. It's really important that we support our trans friends to get their perspective forward in a media which seems to just ignore them.
Ultimately, we're Transforming Cinema. We want to create a stage and a platform for trans people, gender non-binary people, queer people to come forward and tell their stories and have their voices heard.
I think people should vote for Transforming Cinema because with the suicide rates as they are, a vote for us, it may sound melodramatic, but it could save somebody's life. And that's vital because, with so many people being really on the edge, it could actually be the difference between life and death.
An actual film festival would mean that we were celebrating our lives and the lives of trans people in the present, the future and in the past.
We're really excited to be given this opportunity to have the chance to raise the funding to create such an exciting film festival that would take place in Sheffield.
Vote for Transforming Cinema.
Vote for Transforming Cinema.
Please vote for Transforming Cinema.
Please vote for Transforming Cinema.
Please vote for Transforming Cinema.
Vote Transforming Cinema.